Hi, it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my first update to the Ancient Mythos Project Pan. This project was created by Daria for the Pantastic Ladies, and this year it's themed around Greek mythology. Daria has heavily implied that there is going to be more years later on with different mythologies, so I don't know what's coming up next, but I'm already excited to find out what it is. There's a series of prompts that Daria created, and you can essentially work on as many as you want at a time. I started off with 5, but I'm doing this progressive style. So if I get to an update and I don't have anything to roll out, I'm rolling something in anyway because I want to work on all the prompts. So we're going to go ahead and start with the first one that I picked last time at random, and that was Apollo. He is the Greek god of music and poetry, healing, and also prophecy. The oracle at Delphi was speaking based on what Apollo told her. And Apollo is affiliated with the sun, so he is represented by something sparkly and bright and gold. And so I picked something that was all of those. This is my Lilo and Stitch Ohana palette. And in here we have the shade Paradise. It is a bright, very yellow gold. It is a shimmer shade. I have a goal of using that 10 times, and so far I've used it 3 times. So I have a start on it. I haven't met my goal yet. It'll be a couple of more months for him. Then I had King Midas. He has a cautionary tale of be careful what you wish for. We talked about him, and that is something that is one of your most expensive items. I picked the Shiseido Beneficence Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream. Even though this was a sample that I got as a gift with purchase, it's still my most expensive eye cream, believe it or not. This size would retail for something like $21, which is a lot, and I absolutely do not think it's worth that. When I brought this in, it was about there. I had some use on it before, and now it's all the way down to here. So this will definitely be gone for next time. I don't know why I didn't bother marking it. And I will have this rolled out. I would not buy this. It's very thick without feeling all that hydrating. The first time I used it, I absolutely hated it, but then I kind of got used to it, and it's okay. But I'm absolutely not going to pay Shiseido prices for this. I can find cheaper ones that I like a whole lot better. Artemis is Apollo's twin, and she is the goddess of the hunt. She is represented by something that is from a woman-owned company. I picked the sample of the Peach and Lily Ginger Melt Oil Cleanser. I haven't used it yet. That's not all that surprising. This is living in my travel bag, and it's staying there for right now. I am working on a full-size cleanser at the moment, and so this will be hanging around for a bit. I am actually filming this on Christmas Eve, so I'm going to be using this tonight because I'm going to be traveling to my parents' house and staying there overnight, and that would be my first use on it. So that's all I have to say about this for now. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, and she is represented by something that someone recommended to you. Someone recommended to me this Perfectly Posh Healer Skin Stick, and it was advertised as like a miracle product, so I thought there was like no way it does all the stuff it's supposed to do. It's meant to be used to heal minor injuries, think minor kitchen burns, small cuts, that kind of thing. And I thought there was no way it could do that. There's no like medication in it. But my friend told me that, it really does work, and she's an intelligent person that I trust, so I went ahead and I bought it, and it does. It doesn't do much for bruises, what it says it's supposed to, but for small cuts and burns, yeah, it actually does help things heal faster. So I've used this a few times. I am trying to finish it, and I rolled this in not knowing if I'd ever hit that goal or not, because I think there's still a lot in here. You're supposed to be able to roll this up and down, but mine doesn't roll back down, so I don't know how much is actually left, but this still feels pretty full. And so it's probably going to be in here the whole project, but if I don't have it in a project, I won't use it. Then we have Zeus. He is the extremely promiscuous king of the gods on Mount Olympus, and he is a thunder, lightning, sky god. So he is something that is storm or sky related. I picked this Perfectly Posh Zit Zapper. Zap, lightning. There's little lightning bolts all over it. So I figured that counted. I did cut this open. There is still product in there because I couldn't squeeze any more out, but now that it is cut open and air is kind of getting in there, what's left in the tube is starting to dry out. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage to finish this by next update. It might dry out by then, but I have gotten more product out of it since I've cut it open, so I still feel like it's worth it. Maybe 1 or 2 more months left on Zeus. We'll see. So that was everything I started with at the intro, and as you can see, I don't have any rollouts, but we're still rolling something in, and I randomized Psyche. And Psyche's story is kind of long, so if you don't have a drink, you might want to get one. So Psyche was a princess. She was the 3rd daughter of a king and queen, and she was extraordinarily gorgeous. She was in fact so beautiful that people started worshiping her instead of Aphrodite. Well, Aphrodite wasn't very pleased about this, so she decided that she wanted to curse Psyche. She sent Eros to do her dirty work, and you have heard of Eros, but you probably know him by his Roman name, which is Cupid. Yep, that Cupid. So a deep sleep was put on Psyche, and Eros took his magical arrow and cut her with it. And the idea was that she would then fall in love with the first person she saw, and the first person she saw would be arranged to be someone horrifically ugly, and then Aphrodite would feel better about herself. In the process, Eros accidentally cut himself, and so he fell in love with Psyche. Meanwhile, Psyche's parents had become increasingly concerned about their youngest daughter's inability to find a suitor. Men seemed to just want to worship her instead of actually have a relationship with her or wed her. They consulted the oracle at Delphi, and Apollo told them through the oracle that they should take their daughter to the top of the spire and leave her there. So that's what they did. And whenever Psyche was taken there, she was then taken by another god to a mysterious house. And this, of course, was Eros' home. She was told to make herself comfortable, and so she did. While an invisible harp was playing music for her, she took a bath, she ate some food, and then she was informed by an invisible person that he wanted to wed her. All of this could be hers. It's just that the only catch was she couldn't actually look at him. The invisible person informed her that if she looked on him, then they would no longer be equals, and he wanted them to have a relationship as equals. Psyche decided to agree to this condition with the invisible man, and of course this was Eros. Over time, she did come to love this invisible person. They did get married, and she became pregnant. But one day she just decided that she really wanted to know who it was that she was married to and what he looked like. So one day while Eros was taking a nap in his private room, she snuck in with an oil lamp to look at him. And she saw him, and that's when she became aware that she was married to a god. But whenever he woke up, he was pretty upset, and there was some oil from the lamp that dripped on his shoulder, and he was burned pretty badly. So he fled. Whenever Eros left the house disappeared, and Psyche found herself in the middle of a field. She was able to find her way back home to her parents. Psyche's sisters were pretty pleased to see this arrangement dissolved. They were rather jealous of the arrangement she had with someone who she claimed was a hunter, and they, of course, liked being superior to her. Eros went to Aphrodite and explained what had happened, and Aphrodite was livid that someone that she considered to be her rival in beauty had now gotten the affections of her son. Eros stayed with Aphrodite so he could recover from his injury, and Psyche was trying to find a way back to him because she really had fallen in love with him without the effect of the arrow. Aphrodite agreed that they could be together if Psyche completed a series of trials. Now, these trials were meant for Psyche to be set up to fail, so she really didn't expect her to pass any of them, but other gods had taken pity on Psyche, and so she had some supernatural help through these trials. For her fourth trial, Psyche was told that she had to go to the underworld and get some of Persephone's beauty and put it into a box and bring it back to Aphrodite. She was able to, with assistance, make her way to the underworld, and she found that Persephone was actually very willing to put her beauty in this box. And on her way back to Aphrodite, Psyche once again got curious and apparently learned nothing from Pandora, and she opened this box. Well, what was really in the box was a mist cloud that put Psyche into a deep sleep, and this was presumably a trap meant for Aphrodite by Persephone. By this point, Eros had recovered from his injuries, and he went to Zeus to plead his case directly. Zeus agreed that Psyche and Eros could be together, and he would prevent Aphrodite from interfering under the condition that the next time Zeus was after a pretty maiden, Eros would offer his assistance with his magical arrows. Eros agreed to these conditions, and Zeus woke up Psyche and told Aphrodite she could no longer interfere. She's just going to have to accept that Eros and Psyche are together. He also offered Psyche ambrosia, which of course is the food of the gods, and upon drinking it, Psyche became immortal. So she was born human, but became a god herself, and they then lived happily ever after. So there's the story of Psyche, and she is represented by a product that you would repurchase forever. And so I decided to bring in a night cream. This is the Tula Skincare 24/7 Moisture Intense. I had used the non-intense version and I fell in love with it, so I really wanted it, and when I saw the intense version on sale, I decided to go ahead and get it, even though I haven't used this one yet. The night cream I'm using right now is not in a project, but I still want to finish it before I start this. So it's going to be a little bit before I start it, and this is going to be in here for a long time because it is a full size but this is what I'm going to bring in for Psyche. So there's my update for next time. I will definitely have this eye cream finished for King Midas. So there will be a rollout and of course a roll-in. So we'll get to see what that is in January. Wish me luck. Good luck with your projects, and I'll see you next time. Bye.